Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome our founder, our chairman, and the chief executive officer of Market America and Shop.com, ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Weidinger.
This is who I am. This is who I am. So take me and make me something so much more. This is who I am. This is who I am.
You ready?
And make me someone better than before. Take me as I am.
Love you guys.
But please don't leave me that way. 'Cause I know that.
Okay, don't cut into my time, Bobby. Are you ready? Okay, we're back in class in the unfranchised university. When the bell rings, you go to the next class and I get off the stage. I have some incredible success stories to end with, people that are doing it, and they're going to share with you their passion and what has happened by using what we've been teaching. To wrap it up. Now listen, I ended when I had to end, but I wasn't done. There's one thing that's just got me cranked up, man. I mean, it is, out of all the Uberization stuff, this is a zinger. Now, taking the assessment is a pain in the ass, right? Come on, is it? Yeah, it's almost like, oh God, I got to do this with this person. And you know, I understand that. It's an investment in a new way of thinking. It brings facts to the surface that you might argue with mentally, but you have to have a breakthrough, and you need that data in order to convert spending into earning. So, Charlie on tomorrow is going to talk about Deductr. Okay? Right, Charlie? Is it tomorrow? Okay, it doesn't matter. You don't know what you're doing, and neither do I. But we have a new financial product that's going to be coming out called Deductr. Now, you're all independent contractors in business. What happened? Tonight at the breakout. Why didn't you just tell me that so I could have said it? Okay, so... and it's an incredible product because you're all independent contractors. One of the advantages of being in business for yourself is the tax advantages. And it's a little bit turbulent waters if you don't know what you're doing. First of all, you got to make money within 5 years or they could reverse it all. Okay? But in this program, if you're doing the right things, you'll be making money in 5 years. And you have to document. The whole thing about the IRS is documentation. And, you know, I'm partners with the IRS. We're good partners. And, you know, we get along pretty well. I'm a good customer. I pay a lot. So, is it up on the screen? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, the IRS says over $1 billion is overpaid in taxes because people do not take deductions or legitimately document it, and so they lose that deduction. So your life and your business totally overlap. There's a lot of things in your life that actually are things that you do and spend money on that are also expenses and can be legitimately moved to the expense column. So I hope that you're aware of that. So you have to document it, and documentation is a pain in the ass. If you try to do it after the fact, it always has holes in it. You can't hand an accountant a box full of receipts and expect it to work. So the Deductr program is great, but I don't see it as a financial tool. I see it as a shopping annuity tool. Now look at this. Chris showed you some of the things that we were doing to make this more transparent, to make it more automated, just like we did with the MPCP. All that's happening. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. Now the Deductr and the shopping annuity are married. They're getting married, and it's going to create a miracle for you about the work it takes to do the assessment. And when you do the assessment, you're really guessing, aren't you? Huh? You're not sure, but you got to put something down. This is what the average is. Put it down, please. Okay? Now listen to this and read. Say, it's an invaluable tool to bring the shopping annuity and your personal reality together in real time based on your real actual spending and financial numbers. It's integrated with the shopping annuity assessment categories. So everything that you spend is already going to be categorized into the assessment. Does the light bulb go off? So it's automated and it's transparent. It happens as you live and spend and documents for your Schedule C as an independent business person. It proves what you or any SA member actually spent based on credit cards, bank accounts, tax documentations, cash log, or diary, and your financial records. This is real. You can't say that you don't spend that much. There it is, your credit card, your bank statement. You didn't save anything, you went in further debt. It's proof. You can't argue with what really happened. Do you agree with that? Okay, so it's coded and integrated to take everything that you actually spend, from credit cards, checking, cash, receipts, and absolutely needs to be done for taxes anyway, and it converts those dollars spent into the shopping annuity category spending, so one doesn't have to spend as much time guessing and figuring. They can add to it and modify it, but they have 80% of the information already there that's factual. Wow, this is powerful. This is really powerful. I mean, so it justifies spending $18,750 on total consumables. Actually, the number's a lot higher than that, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But it's there. You spend $8,400, Phil, okay, Guido, $8,400 on Market America BB to do 500. So that's a year. So it even does the car and gas expense saved in the shopping annuity. You know that portion? Very important, because you're saving just going in this by changing your behavior and eliminating all of that expense. Money saved is money earned, right? The annual spend and events, which are so important now with the new narrowing and assisted buying programs that we're going to be coming out with, like Waverly, Havenly, you got it right. Okay, it justifies and identifies real spending to reconcile the $1,000 per month on shop. I mean, there it is in your checking account. You just move it over. You getting this? And we are making it populate your assessment. So what an amazing tool. So if you understand this, you got the Deductr and you got the justification of spent money that can be moved over. It's going to put it in there, and we're working out all of these matching product to people mechanisms so that you're able then to go right and order it without having to search and find it and all of that. So it kind of completes the game. So gross income, $63,784. Incomes went up 3%. Spending went up. It's got an and. It's 7 to 10%. Everything went up, but your income didn't go up. Debt went up. So everybody is even in a more valid position on the whole argument of the shopping annuity. Making less or the same, expenses went up, you're further in debt, you're not saving. Okay, now I didn't make this up. This is the government. I know they always lie, but you know, okay. So after income taxes, $53,700, you're going to get about $4,000 more out of tax reform. At least that's what they say. So on consumables, $18,750. That's to spend on MA. So that's $10,350 to cover the shopping annuity because it's left over. You didn't spend it all. You didn't use it all. But that's still short. 862 is not 1,000, right? But just so you know, there's another 19,000 after we deduct 30% for fixed expenses. So it's almost that's 8.6 of the remainder, or 11.54 ratio. Okay, that's the argument. That's the facts. We're hiring the top financial analysis and statistical analysis firms to make this third-party validated, like Forrester. And it is what it is. But I don't know if that's me, but when you have the deductor tied to it, the proof is in the pudding. You spin it. There's the record. And it knows what you spent on. So the whole assessment comes together, and it's not estimated, it's real. It's not theoretical, it's actual. Use it, press the button, and it makes it all happen. I mean, I don't know if you comprehend how powerful this is. It's a highly rated, widely used product. It's fast, it works. And Charlie, I did your sales job for you. What do you think about that? I mean, do you get it? Okay, so I know that this is your favorite session. They wanted to call it recruiting. So there's only one problem with that. I don't recruit. I've never recruited. I qualify. You see, so my whole process is a qualifying process. What's the difference between you and me? Well, I guess the difference is that I told so many people about it when I was starting, when I had nothing to prove that it would work, and I told so many people where to go, that I either had to make it or leave town. The honest to God truth. So the problem is that your brain is programmed wrong. You're trying to get people in for you. They don't want to get in for you, right? You're trying to get people in or sign them up, and it's meaningless. I don't try to do that at all. And you're not really programmed right. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to program your brain. I tell you, Elizabeth Weber, back when I met her, and I didn't know her. Somebody led to somebody, led to somebody, led to somebody. She was an MLM floozy. And I fundamentally programmed her brain. You might say, well, what do you mean? You brainwashed her? No, actually, she brainwashed herself. But everybody's brainwashed to be something. You're brainwashed to be exactly what you are right now. And I can prove it to you, because if I give you an argument that you can be different, you'll argue all night long why it's not so, because you're brainwashed. Everybody is exactly where they are in life right now because of the total input and programming into their brain. And that's the proof, okay? The only difference between me and you is my thinking. The only difference. I was as average as could be. Okay, so what you do, let me show you how you recruit. You go into work on Monday, and your upline partner, big shot, is holding a meeting at your house. And you're scared to death that you're not going to have any people there. Anybody ever feel that way? Come on! Get with me here. Let's have some fun. Come on, I know what happens. You are worried to death. So you know how many people come, and you know that they don't all show up. So you go into work Monday morning, and there is John Smith over by the copy machine that you've been working for a while. You played some summer baseball together, and you went to a fundraiser at his house one time. So you kind of feel like he owes you one. You know what I mean? So you go over and say, hey, John, You got a minute? He's by the copy machine. He said, John, I've always kind of been ambitious, and I know you do some things on the side, and you remember when I went to that fundraiser at your house? He said, yes. Well, I have something that I need you to take a look at, because I know that you're ambitious, and it's really a great internet type of business, and I had this guy coming over who's a big shot. He's making hundreds of thousands, and I got to have some people there. So, do you mind coming? And he says, well, what is it? Oh, well, it's kind of, internet marketing and getting people on shop.com and stuff like that. And he says, well, what do you mean? It's like selling? No, it's not. It's on the internet, and, you drive traffic to it, and, I said, well, did you sell anything? Who, me? Oh, I sold a box to my mother-in-law, but she returned it. And he says, well, yeah. He says, but I know you'd be really good at it, and if you came over and you liked it and you got in, I might make money. He says, my God. What did you making any money yet? Oh, who, me? Not yet. Not yet, but other people are. And he says, I can see that you're really proud of it. I think I'll do it too. It's called the ashamed approach. How many people identify with that? And I just got to laugh at you. And you wonder why you're not growing or duplicating. It's all because of your brain programming and your pride in the business. It's about knowledge. It's about knowing. The only thing better than belief is knowing. You see, and when you come from that strength and confidence, you can't lose. You attract people. So I built the business with these guys down here. It was built a long time ago, I know, but I saw things. Weber. You ever hear of a Hoover vacuum cleaner? A Kirby? Well, there's a brand out called the Weber vacuum cleaner. She used to come down to Ocean City, and we'd go up on the boardwalk, and she was literally a human vacuum cleaner. She'd go in and make a lot of noise in the shops, and be real effervescent and real excited, She asked them how they're doing. You making all the money you want? Looks like you're doing pretty good here. And they said, well, what do you do? She says, oh, I show people how to make $2,100 a week part-time. And they look at her. She says, well, I don't really have time for you, and you probably don't qualify, but I'm here, and, give me your card, and I'll tell you something about it and see if you qualify. There was 8 people in the store. And Lauren, am I telling the truth? She walks out with 8 cards. The next place, 5. But she was so effervescent, so confident, so funny, that she literally just sucked them all up. She was supposed to go home in 2 days, but she didn't because she had to follow up, which is another part of it. Kiefer, you ain't getting away with this. I used to go down to Maryland and do meetings in this antique home, and we go to, where was it, Ocean City, Maryland, some. And he'd be sitting there all cocky the way he is, talking to people. And, the guy said, well, what do you do? He says, well, I own a chain of unfranchisers. They produce residual income for me. He said, well, how does that work? He says, you wouldn't be interested. You love your job too much. I was sitting right there. And, the guy said, well, maybe I would be interested. I don't love my job that much. I'm not making all that I want. He says, I'll tell you what. I don't have time for this. You write down the 5 best people you know and what they do that are successful and bring it to me and tell me about it, and I'll determine if you qualify. Holy moly. But you see, it's a brain programming. It's a consciousness. He wasn't trying to get them in. He was qualifying them. You know? Dennis is the funniest one of all. You know? He has all these lines and nobody has a clue what he's talking about. But he gets them to the meeting, and the first thing he tells them, you're going to have to put 12 to 18 hours a week in this and spend over $1,000 over the first 3 months in order to earn $109,000 more per year. Are you willing to do that? I mean, that's really like punching them right in the head. But the point is, they're not recruiting, they're qualifying. Do you get this? And that's what you're doing wrong. Listen to me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm one of the best in the world at it. So what it's all about is engaging in conversation. Listen to me. Engaging in conversation. Getting them in out of your mind. You build relationships first. You ask a lot of questions. You be goofy. You could always joke around with your friends and be goofy. You get into business and all of a sudden you get lockjaw. You act like weird. Honest to God truth, I watch you. The amount of anxiety that you exude is huge. So you engage in conversation. Now, part of the key is I don't care if they get in at all, because I deal with large numbers and I understand the law of probability. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. It doesn't matter how brilliant you are, how smooth, how polished, they're going to ask another question and figure out a way to make an excuse not to do it or punch a hole in it. And by the same token, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, because they'll ask more questions and talk themselves into it. And so it's all a numbers game. If you only deal with 6 people or talk to, 5 people a year, the probability is that you're not going to find someone who's ready and right. Are you getting this? And there's anxiety in it, which is a terrible thing to exude because you can't get anybody in. Kind of an oxymoron, counterintuitive. I've been on TLS and my pants are falling down. Anyway, trim tee. So, what I do, and look, you have seen this many times before. Where's that video? My methodology is to live life and be crazy and engage with people and have fun. And when they like you, it grows, okay? And I'm not doing it with one, I'm doing it with many. So I'm filling the funnel, not trying to get them in, they're just beans. You understand? I don't know if they're right or wrong, but I'm filling the funnel. Is that up on the screen? See that? And that's the methodology of getting in a lot of conversations, okay? And if you're shy, have somebody with you that has a big mouth. You know? Can you guys take a deep breath and kind of laugh a little bit and feel okay? I mean, so at any rate, you get 2 beans. You found 2 people that you know that you are talking to, and you want to get them. I think I might get one, and I'll activate, because I already got one. Oh my God, when somebody tells me that, I say, oh God, it's over. We got 2, we're activated, the race is just beginning and you stall off the starting line. Pop the clutch and boom, the car stops. 2. Boy, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to make 109 grand on these two people because they're going to go do it. So you start talking to them, writing them, sending them stuff, badgering them. Come on, I need you to do this because I know you can do it. I must succeed so that other people can realize their dreams. And you're one of the sons of the bitches that I'm going to make do it. Yeah. Come on, come to the meeting with me. What's the matter with you? Don't you have any common sense? They don't like you too much. You know? So they tell you to get lost. No, they don't. They avoid you. They're never home. They never take your call. Okay, that's the wrong way to do it. Now what I do, what Weber did, what Frank did, was we filled the bean jar. We didn't try to get any of them in. We were coming from a point of enthusiasm, expectation, growth, success, and we projected successfulness. See, posture, Elizabeth calls it. So we shake the bean jar. Now let me ask you a question. You've seen this 100 times. Let me play with your head a little bit. What does filling the bean jar mean? You look at, JR does so many funny things on the stage. I kind of stole Jesus' technique of parables. You don't remember anything I say, but you might remember some of the stories and stuff. You get it? So, filling the funnel is interacting with people and having conversations. And from those conversations, more conversations because they know people. Not trying to get any of them, but they go in the bean jar. Is this making sense? Is it? I'm not thinking about getting them in. I'm thinking about if they respond correctly and it looks good, I'll qualify them. Okay? And qualifying is talking to them, going back to see them, having some fun, putting out there some test questions, challenging their mind, okay? And not letting them in. Oh, will you show it to me? No, not yet. You're not qualified. But I keep shaking them, bringing them to an event, introducing them to other successful people. Oh my God. So I do that enough, and the nuts rise to the top. I didn't know who they were or where they would come from. I just kept filling the bean jar, shaking the bean jar. That one is Frank Kiefer. I didn't know Frank Kiefer. I didn't know Dennis Franks. I didn't personally recruit them. But one method is people lead the people. I don't expect anybody to do it, and I'm going to get under them and find somebody who will. It's easier for people to lead the people than it is to find people on your own. Okay? That one, that's Dennis. And look what they became. Now, there's a lot of wisdom in what I just went over with you. I don't know if you get it, but shaking the bean jar is not getting people. Filling the bean jar is not recruiting. And so I engage in conversations. Next slide. I don't know what I did with the thing. Okay. The reason I have notes, if I don't, you'll be here until 10 o'clock tonight. So here's the problem for me in this segment. I don't know how to recruit. They asked me to speak on recruiting. I don't know how to recruit. I mean, I network, I develop relationships, and qualify people. Look, when somebody comes into the business, they don't know what to do. And if somebody doesn't show them what to do and do it with them, they're going to fail. And that's another one that runs around and says, that doesn't work. Okay. I ask a lot of questions. I tell a lot of stories. Telling stories is one of the greatest techniques to get somebody absorbed into it. And I hold off on asking them to evaluate anything unless I'm in a different country or whatever, because it makes a lot more sense when I'm from out of town. So they end up recruiting me. Listen to this. They end up recruiting me to be their mentor or coach or entrepreneurial partner. I don't recruit them. Are you getting this? Okay, so it's all about qualifying. I think Carl Ekman or someone calls it reverse recruiting. The same thing. So qualifying for the shopping annuity. A lot of you are going out trying to get people to see it or get them to do it or get your downline on board and shoving it down their throat. You know, right away, why this? No, you're not allowed to do the shopping annuity. You have to qualify. We spend millions and millions of dollars on this technology that nobody else has, and we have the 6 things. And it takes my time to guide them through as a shopping guru and shopping annuity guru to get them in gear. I don't have time for somebody that doesn't qualify. The company doesn't want people to spend millions of dollars on a technology that nobody else has that can revolutionize the world, okay, on somebody that doesn't fit the profile. Now, you can't get a group insurance policy, a preferred rating, without qualifying. Sorry, you don't meet the profile. That's life. Too bad. Sorry, Charlie. You get this? And many other things, you know, academic clubs, fraternities, yacht clubs. You got to qualify. They just don't let you in. And it's a profile that you spend so much money, et cetera. Okay. Not everyone qualifies. Let me ask you a question. Do you qualify? Do you qualify? I don't know. But we have a way of finding out. I already did this video, right? The Wizard of Oz is in the back, and I got to talk to him. Okay. What is shaking, what is spilling, and what is nuts rise to the top? It's the same thing with the shopping annuity as it is with regular UFO qualifying. See, when I show the plan, I want you to listen to this really, really carefully. It's a very small thing that makes all the difference in the world. When I show the plan, I do not intend to finish it. You hear that? Because in the beginning, I give an overview of what the unfranchised means and residual income. That's what it's all about. And they can't get it anywhere else. Residual income is reserved for the elite, not average people. Residual income means that you invent something, create something, do a movie or play, or develop some asset that people use, and you've spent time doing it one time, and you get paid for the rest of your life. Not available to average people. This is the only thing in the world that average people that are already not entitled and affluent can do to develop a residual income. It's the highest level on the economic ladder of what people seek. And we have it. So I don't know where I am. Sometimes I get excited and my finger starts going like that, and the thing goes all over the place. Okay. So when I do the shopping annuity, they have to fit the profile. There's some hard questions. When I do the plan, okay, so let me ask you something. The 2 to 3 year plan, okay, produces a residual income for the rest of your life if you can do it. You're going to be working anyway. Now, you're an expert in a 45-year plan, and we know that 95% of the people at the end of 45 years will end up broke, living month to month or depending on some type of subsistence. Given fact, right, Frank? Which would you prefer? Now, if I'm not sure about their answer, because I know a lot of you candy coat it and avoid it, and you know, you wanted to get that out of the way so you can show the plan and try to get them in. I might even say, you know what, I don't really believe you. Why? Why do you choose a 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan? The conversation might go on for the rest of the night, and I never get to show the plan, but now they want to see it. I show it to them next time. When I show the plan, I tell them right up front, put your checkbook away, and you don't have to make any decisions tonight, okay? Because I don't even know if you qualify, so relax, okay? You have to see this 3 times before we can even consider testing you out and doing a trial run to see if we can make it work. Okay? Well, they say, okay. The first time you see it, it raises more questions. This is what I do, Andrew. It raises more questions than it answers. You'll see that. The second time you see it, you see things that you did not see the first time, and light bulbs go off. The third time you see it, fireworks go off in your brain. If you can't make it the third time, we're not going to do it. And when fireworks go off in your brain, you're seeing how this might work in your life. It's making sense. And then you qualify for a tryout. Because I don't want you to go do this and things go wrong. You don't know how people react. You got to try the product and love it. So I'm going to get you some product now. But we're going to do a test market. And let me ask you a question. Why would you like to sponsor anyone? Why would you want to sponsor anyone who can't lead to any people and doesn't totally believe in the product and can't sell any product? Why would you want to sponsor them? Oh, to make it a fake center that you can load unencumbered volume in? I don't know any other reason. I don't want them. That was a little side brain spanking. But at any rate, I want them to do a trial run. Now, I have a subversive motive in that because I'm investing time in them. And I don't know if they'll work out, and I don't know if they'll do it, but they're going to lead me to people. Now, why would I want anybody to get in that's not going to lead to people anyway? So I always do a trial run. I don't care if they sign up. What does that mean? Leading me to people means that they're qualifying, right? And then I do the same thing with those people. And they always lead eventually with that method to somebody that will become a director. That's the beautiful thing about the vertical marketing and infinite search. You don't have to do things symmetrically. It doesn't matter. It just goes wherever it goes. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people down. Somebody does it, whoop, you get paid. So get people to lead to people, 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 lead to people. Oh, I got one! Frankie Keeper! Okay, it's crazy, I know. So, when I talk about economy, one of the greatest conversations it's easy to do is talk about the economy, economics, and how everything's upside down, which leads to the shopping annuity. I talk about the shopping annuity. I'm not talking about MLM or business opportunity like Lynn did. You like Lynn? Yeah. That's not a very big like. Well, if he was yours, you would like him. One team, one dream, remember. So, listen, what it is, now listen to this. I'm not trying to get them in. I'm talking about a phenomenal, revolutionary concept where the digitization of the world now allows us to overthrow the establishment, the mass marketing paradigm, who wants to keep us separate. And we have the 5 things. But I don't even talk about that, you know. It's an interesting, enthralling, captivating, intelligent conversation. And when somebody is smart, aware, awake, it just develops into an amazing conversation. Are you following this? They don't think I'm trying to get them into anything. So the discussion leads somewhere. We exchange numbers. I send them something. And it just kind of develops, see? And they start coming after me. You know, they want to know, well, why did you bring this up? How do you actually do it? They never suspect MLM, BizOp, or network marketing. I'm talking about digital, online shopping, digital aggregation, tracking system, collective buying power, and residual income. I've never had somebody ask me, is this like one of them pyramid things or MLM or network marketing? Never once. And how many times do you get that? Come on, tell me. Let me hear. How many do you get that? My greatest hate. You know. So people I already know, people that I already know, I practice on. Here's my line. You know, David, you're a really bright guy. I know you do a lot of things. I've come across a new, exciting business concept on the internet, digital marketing, product brokering. It's pretty cool. And I've got an opening or a position where I can work with the top guy and grow, but I have to impress him with my presentation. Can I show it to you to practice? Ooh. Oh, come on. That's good. Huh? You know. So he can't say he don't want to get in because I'm not trying to get him in. I'm practicing. Okay. Well, you know, family, it's very unlikely they qualify. Especially because you're going to be in it and they don't want you to succeed. So I tell them, listen, you cannot get in this. There's not enough room for you and me. I'm going for the position, so don't get any ideas. But you are my blood and relative, and I would hope that you would let me show this to you so that I can practice. And then I'll never ask to borrow any money ever again. Are you with me on this? Do you see how I'm just like having fun and, you know? But you, it's, I have to learn how to show this, and you're the only person that will listen. You know? Okay, so let me get back to the shopping annuity. Oh, by the way, do you see how I qualify people to see the plan and then qualify them to see if they're going to have a trial run? And then the trial run proves itself out, but I didn't waste my time because I got people from them. Is that smart? Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Well, I've said this before. Obviously, you're not listening. And you keep going back to the dumb way of doing it and looking like an idiot. I'm not trying to be mean to you. You feel that way too. You're thinking about quitting because you look like an idiot too often. Too much rejection. Are you with me? I'm having fun, man. You know? So, what is a SAM about? What is SAM? Shopping Annuity Master Member. Remember, the length of time you have been in the business on the clock is not when you signed the application or went to school. It's equivalent to that. It's when you become a master unfranchise owner and open the doors for business, because now you're doing the minimal things that open the door for business. Everybody got that? I want you to think about that, how much time you really put in, because we're going to turn the clock back and reset what you say. Oh, I've been in for 7 years. I made a couple checks, but they disappeared. But a lot of other people are making money. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, this is you. No. You know, I went to law school. I have a law degree. And I found something else to do, and I got married and whatnot. I haven't really practiced law. But I know I always can, and I think I'm going to start next year. That's the truth. You see what I'm saying? Why are you degrading yourself? The opportunity is incredible. It's perfect. It works for people that open their business by becoming a master unfranchise owner. But you're not going to make any money if you don't open the shop. Is this making sense to you? So the good news about that is you can forgive yourself. Stop making yourself look bad. Stop embarrassing us. How can you be in for 7 years and not be making any money? 7 years? That's 365 days times 7. You've been in for 8 days. You get it? Everybody go like this. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so now here's why the shopping annuity. The shopping annuity is so in line with reality, and we have the solution. We have the solution that the rest of the world doesn't have. It's as powerful as Google. We're going to change the world. And you're the early adapters. But here's why. It's not only because it's so powerful and makes sense and it's in line with reality, that when done and when numbers are added to it, it's a paradigm shifter, because the way of doing it now has an economic gradient that prevents people from going back. You're not going to go back to an outhouse. You're going to have a bathroom in your house. You're not going to go back to a regular analog camera, right? It makes no sense. But here's why. It takes 1/4 of the people to hit a check and 1/4 of the people for you to max out. 4 times the volume, at least. And it didn't extract money out of people to do it. It saved them money. Now, where's your rebuttal on that? You're arguing with yourself. These guys all argued with me in the beginning on the MPCP and the NMTSS, and, you know, we had a ball beating each other up. I mean, I hate to say this. I let them think they won. We both won. But it was a battle. So I understand what you're going through, is what I'm trying to say. But it's about time to get over it. And free shipping is a huge advantage. But that's not why you do it. You do it for the same reason you're doing the plan. For the plan. For the MPCP, for residual income. You get this? You know, there's a lot of little brilliant things in there that are riding their zingers. Like how I link BV and IBV together. Oh, it's just like nobody wanted requirements 15 years ago. Well, everybody was sucking their thumb, sourpuss, angry. But I'm you. I had total right intentions. Not only to make the business last and solid, but for you to have a much more stable and greater income. Nobody would not do it today now that they've experienced it. You follow with me? What I'm trying to say is, I'm on your side. I'm trying to get you rich. Okay, so let me tell you this. Free shipping is big. The reason you do it is a plan. Please try it. Okay? And when you're a SAM, you're going to be certified. Only SAMs can sell the client program. I'm going to show it to you before we leave this weekend. Well, it's not here yet. But you know these guys? The reason they're here today is we talked about where we were going and how it was going to improve. and what we were going to do. So they built a foundation so that they could benefit from the rest of the progress. And look what happened. That's what I'm asking you to do now. And if you do it, you'll be one of them. I don't know. I mean, if you don't believe that, you don't believe in me, why are you here? I haven't let anybody down yet. So, certified as a SAM, this is a big one. I know it's not real yet, but you know, you don't become a SAM and get SAMs in your group overnight. You want to be there so when the green light goes on, you're in the action. So this whole thing's about belief and attitude. It's a reflection of your belief and attitude, how well you recruit, how well you qualify. Referral approach and backdoor method is an old standby when you don't know anything else to do. Don't ask them to get in. Tell them that you like them evaluated. They might know the right people, in which case it can mean some money to them. Right? Okay, so the only way they qualify is by leading to some people. You know, storytelling. I tell stories about Elizabeth. I tell stories about Bowlings, about Frank. Don't try to get them in. They love the stories, funny stories. You know, about how dumb people got rich. They love it. I mean, how me, you know, I had an accident in life. I came up with an idea and some other people accidentally believed in it. And it's called the unfranchise, and it's $1 billion company today. Well, what do? I don't do nothing anymore. I have residual income. That is a lie. I have residual income, but I do not do nothing. Okay. So the 3-foot rule. Elizabeth is expert at this. Anybody that comes within 3 feet, talk to them. You don't ask them to get into business. Hi, how you doing? You know, how do you get into this business? People love to talk about themselves. Their absolute favorite topic. So they ask me a question I don't want to answer or is going down the wrong trail. I switch it on them, flip it on them. You know, don't worry about that. What about you? How did you get into this? Well, boy, you're going to hear the story. You know the great thing I love about Kanye West? You know who Kanye West is? He's a personal friend of ours. You don't have to talk much. He said, JR, what do you think of this? I'm a designer and I want to design churches. I said, I don't know, Kanye. What do you think about it? 5 hours later, I haven't said a word. I don't got to say anything. Okay. 3 things that everybody talks about. Listen to this. You want to learn something so you don't stay in this agony? Forget about getting them in. Anybody that you talk to, do this experiment. Go out and do it here. Hi, how you doing? For a minute or two, they will do small talk. You know, who's going to win the Super Bowl? You know, it sure got hot out later today. I was expecting it to be cooler. You know, get a heater, buddy. No, but, and within 1 to 2 minutes, listen to this, they will either complain or wish. I'm batting almost 1,000 on this. They will, listen, small talk, hi, how you doing? Okay, how are you? See, you got your grandkids with you. Yeah, what do you know, I look old? How do you know what my grandkids, you know, I just have a great time with people. But they're going to either complain or wish. Are you getting this? Now they're giving you what you need. And I don't cut them off and talk about me. Really? They make you work that much? Wow, that doesn't seem very fair. I mean, is it that bad? Oh, yeah. You know, they go on and on and on and on. They are giving me everything that I need to sponsor them with. You guys getting this? I don't ask them to get in. Okay. What's happening? Complain, wish. This business is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be natural. It's almost a game. You get this? I get the intention of getting them in out of my mind. I want to learn about them. I want to develop a relationship. Now, the expert, all-time champion at qualifying rather than recruiting, he calls it recruiting, but he's qualifying, was Jerry Siciliano. Watch this.
Years ago, I told you we didn't have any instructors. We used to prospect really unorthodox. I was in New York once prospecting, and I had a cane, white cane and sunglasses on, and I had four people in a row help me cross the street. And in the middle of the street, I tell them I'm not really blind, but I'm looking for someone that would help a blind man. And because you did, I've got an opportunity for you.
Hey guys, is that recruiting or qualifying? You see the difference? Was he having fun? Was he goofing on people? Hey, you always goofed on people. You always were silly. Go back to it. You know? Am I helping you? I don't know. I'm unconvinced. So I don't recruit, they recruit me. That's law number one. If they're not recruiting me, I'm not going to show them the plan. Making a friend and getting acquainted is step one. I mean, a lot of you need more friends. You blew the rest of them out. So, people love to talk about themselves. And actually, I'm quite interested in it. I learned so many things. You know, so God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for one reason, to listen twice as much as you talk. That's a good one, huh? Expose their pain. Learn about their wish. Okay? You know, the all-time champion at this is Steve Harris, right? I mean, he used to do this. I don't know where Steve is, but he would expose their pain or expose their wish and say, hey, I might have a way that could happen. Let's get together at the coffee shop next to Boston Yard. So at any rate, you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but people only talk about 3 things. Test it out. Let's do an experiment. Go talk to some people while you're here and watch. Small talk, weather, you know, current events, and within 2 minutes, they're complaining or wishing. There's your key. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Okay. So the 2 to 3 year plan versus a 45-year plan is a critical sweat question and test. You would be wise to listen to me and try some of the things that I'm telling you to do. I don't know why it's uncomfortable not to want to show the plan to somebody that doesn't definitely want the 2 to 3 year plan and recognizes that they are not going to make it in the 45-year plan, something that they're already an expert in. They'll work 45 years and end up broke. That's a really great deal. So, you know, I got a loaded hand, and I play it well. Is this making sense? So, you know, so remember, the first time, it's going to create more questions than it'll answer. The second time, you'll see things you didn't see the first time. And well, why did I have to say it 3 times? Because that's my rule for you to qualify. You know, you get in this, I'm the one that does all the work. You don't know what to do. I do. So that's why you got to do it, okay? Andrew, do I do this? I keep asking Andrew because Andrew builds with me. And the third time, fireworks go off in your head. So when they start saying popping, you know when they start popping, oh my God, this guy, that guy, that's right, fireworks going off in your brain. And then you want to, you know, I want to get in. You can't get in. You have to have a tryout, a test market, so that we can be absolutely sure that it's going to work for you. And so that I don't waste my time and you don't waste your time, and we have a high probability of success. I'm going to make it work before you get in. How do you like that deal? Okay. At any rate, They get to see how it's done. See, people are like ducks. In biology, there's something called imprinting. Little baby ducks, they follow their mother around. That's how they learn how to walk. And then they go into the water, learn how they swim. That's how they learn how to eat. And they even fly in a binary formation. It's imprinting. Everybody does exactly what their sponsor did to them later on. And you set in motion some terrible things. You hear me? So I have to do it, I don't really have to do this that much if I didn't want to. But I'm dealing with somebody's future. So I'm extremely disciplined in doing it exactly right? Because what I do will duplicate. So at any rate, they get to experience the product. They get to see the shopping annuity. I say, hey, listen, before we get started, I want you to see the shopping annuity because this opens a whole new world. And it'll take 1/4 of the people to max out like I showed you. They want to see that, right? Okay. A lot of times people ask me, I'm always backpedaling. I'm like a defensive cornerback. Not quarterback, cornerback. I'm backpedaling, you understand? I'm not aggressive going to them. I make them come with me. You follow that? You understand that? And so, guy says, well, what do you sell? Vacuum cleaners, clocks, soap, incredible magical vitamins. In fact, I sell everything. What do you want? Because that's what it's about, what you want. Because it's called one-to-one marketing. People hate to be sold, but they love to buy. So I don't try to sell them anything. I find out what they want, and I have a technology that matches it to them at a better price. That's what I do. So, I do that. When I don't want to talk to somebody, people bother me a lot. I say, what's it to you? I sell vacuum cleaners. You wouldn't want to know anyway. I stole Frank's line. You love your job too much. So, at the end of every meeting, I end like this. It's almost like a button that gets pushed. And I train my people, when I start this part of the play, because I tell them it's a play, you have a role in it. Your role comes up at this point, so be ready. Don't be asleep and miss your line. Don't worry about understanding all this tonight. If you understood the whole thing, God bless you, you're the smartest person in the world. I didn't understand it the first time either, and I'm the one that created it. But at any rate, that's not what's really important tonight. What's important tonight is if you chose a 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan. And if you did, you got to see it again because you're going to see things that you didn't see the first time. Right now, you got more questions in your mind than you got answers. And we'll get together and we'll do that. And by the third time you see it, if you want to do it, we will give you a tryout. And almost every time that I give somebody a tryout and they cooperate, because you've got to be coachable, have a positive attitude, okay, and listen. And if you do those 3 things, I'm willing to invest my time in you. Well, one thing I won't do is waste my time. So if you don't want to do it, just tell me. I got plenty of people waiting to do this. So that's the posturing that I start out with. I'm very kind. I'm not mean. I'm friendly, fair, and firm. And I love them. I'm nice to them. You get this? You're so nice to people that they run all over you. So I'm doing it in a very strong way to illustrate to you what needs to be done. This is a business, not a game. Who would take, if they spent $500,000 to $1 million on a business, it could potentially be a $100 million business, and it's growing. And if you have bought a venture Who would take the first 2 people that walked in the door to be their vice president without knowing anything about them or if they can produce? How stupid is that? Huh? Well, that's what you do in the business. Sorry. I'm helping you. So at any rate, is this good? Have you ever heard this type of stuff before? Are you learning anything? You know. Okay, so people, you interact with people, you get in a conversation, but I know you're saying, well, what do you say to them? When your brain is programmed right, listen to this. When your brain is programmed right, and you are programmed to totally believe in the business and love what you do and understand it, that you want the world to know, you don't need to know what to say. It just comes out. You hearing this? Okay, so I just say things like this. I mean, you're asking me a lot of questions. Let me ask you one. Okay? Name 2 to 5 people that you would want to be in business with and tell me why. Because that'll tell me a lot. See how I switched it? Okay. Well, listen, I'll see you next week. I know that you can't think of them right now. When you see me, come over and tell me. You see, I'm backpedaling. I'm not going after them. You with this? And all week long, they're wondering, I wonder what that guy really does. You see? Refuse to tell them how it works. I send them a link, or I tell them, not about the plan, about all of our success and everybody having a great time. And it's, you know, wow, that looks like fun. And I say, yeah, all them people are making hundreds of thousands a year, man. And we just have a great family and a great party, and we just make a lot of money. Can you say that? Yeah, you're not making it, but what you said was true. Are you with me? That's when you come to these events, take a lot of videos and movies and pictures of you having a great time with all types of other people succeeding, and you tell stories about them, not you. Does that help? Does that work? You know, people hate to be sold and they love to buy. I explain that to people, and it's one-to-one marketing and digital aggregation. I want you to do this. If you wanted me to talk to you more, look those things up, and we can talk about it if it sounds like cool to you. No use talking about something that's not cool to you, right? And I'll show you how it works conceptually and how I've made a lot of money with it. Did you just hear that? That's what I do. You know, assignments. Okay, you want to talk more? I don't have time right now. But I'd love to talk to you because you seem like a very sharp person that's a shaker and mover. You know what I mean? You present yourself well. Go look up collective buying power and digital aggregation. And when I come back, explain it to me. Because if you can't explain that and don't understand it, you would not have the mind to do this. Woo! You know, tell me what's unique about Uber and why it works. And I'll show you how we apply the same model to shopping and saving money. Works. I do that to Uber drivers. You know, do you know how digital marketing has changed the marketplace, mass marketing, and the establishment? You know, well, there's no use me explaining anything because if you don't understand that, you won't understand what I'm talking about. You know, describe your custom-made life and how much money it would take to live that. What's the number? And did you ever hear of residual income? Because most people don't even know what it is. See what and I'm done. If a person's an entrepreneur, a business person, or a technology person, okay, what business are you in? What products? What are the margins? How does the model work? I'm asking them, and they're telling me I'm learning a lot. And I guarantee you they get the key to the door. It's not about me, it's about them. You know? So everybody in the end with these funny conversations and playing around, okay? They either become a customer, they refer someone, or a candidate to qualify, naturally. Every once in a while there's an idiot, we all run into them, a wise guy or whatever. And I said, I'm sure glad I eliminated him. Well, is this a pyramid? I've heard that before. What's a pyramid? I thought that they were in Egypt. He said, no, I mean a business pyramid, where the guy at the top makes all the money and the people under him. Oh, like the government or your company. You can't move up. No. I heard that before. I'd just like you to tell me more of what you know about it, because this is a Demerite. You ever heard of a Demerite? No. Okay, well, next time we get together, I'll explain to you why a Demerite is the opposite of all those other things. I just scramble their brains, man. Well, what do you hate most about work or life? People love this question. Well, let me think about it. Well, I hate this. I used to love my wife, but I hate her now. It's just crazy what you get. You see what I'm doing? I'm having fun. Okay. A beautiful model, I forget her name, that was in a tsunami and lost her boyfriend. What's her name? One time we met at Nobu or somewhere for dinner. I'd never met her before. She sat down, and when you sit down with a bunch of people that you never met, you always say something to each other. Hi, how are you? She turned to me and she said, "What's your passion?" Whew. I stole that one. What's your passion? What a great question. Okay, so it's a new technology that creates financial success. Hey, look, it looks like you spend a lot of money. You see your wife's all dolled up there with all types of diamonds and whatnot, and you got a great car out there, okay? Let me ask you something. What if I could show you how to get a percentage of all that money working in a financial vehicle that pays you a yield or an income while you spend less? Oh boy, I really whipped one on them. Are you enjoying this, or am I boring you? Okay. Well, what I do is I use a technology to beat the system on spending money and turn spent money into income. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to ask me how I do that. And then I start taking it away. So let me ask you something. What's your number? This is Lynn. What's your number? How many people do you know like that have a number? We ought to get together, because I got an incredible genius idea that we can stir up and use this concept for everybody to make a lot of money. You getting this? Okay. My objective is always to get information from them, not to get them in, and for them to lead people. That's me to people. That's my secret thing. It's my motive. It's not evil or ill. It's just that I'm going to make friends with their friends, and their friends' friends I'm going to make friends with. And somebody ends up being right. What's so hard about that? Oh, come on, guys. Refuse to show them it. I will not show you how this works. It's all about timing. I'm filled up. I can't take anybody this month, okay? But if you shop and spend, I will show you how to save money and turn spending into earning. It's called economic alchemy. Oh, well, what is that? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Oh, come on, guys, I'm giving it all to you. Goof around. You always goofed around. Now you got lockjaw. Or you act weird. Well, I was wondering if I could ask you a question. I've liked you for a lot of years, and I found something that I think might work, and I need to get somebody in. What about you? He's like, that's weird. I got to move on. I mean, I'm getting so excited about this stuff. Okay, so remember, one of the big advantages of becoming a shopping annuity member, or master member, a SAM, is that you are the only ones that get certified to sell the client program, which I'll show you before we leave this weekend, and how much money's in it. Why? Because I'm sweating? You should have seen me when I used to be a wrestler. I used to sweat profusely. You should see me in bed. I mean, I sweat. Anyway. Oh, come on, Lauren. All right. Okay, so here it is. Just like I qualify them on the 45-year plan, look, I want to wake you up. Everybody doesn't get to do the shopping annuity. You don't, just because you're in, automatically get to do it. Because if you don't fit the profile, it won't work, and I don't have time to fight with your mental constipation. Do you know anybody mentally constipated in the business? I mean, they like the business. They want to do it, and they go to talk to somebody, and they just can't get it out. You want to get in? Okay, number one, qualifying them for the program. Did they agree with the savings in time and transportation by changing how they shop of at least $4,000 a year? I wait. Slides up. What do? You go on to the next question they never answered. I don't go another step. I can wait 15 minutes and then I am not going to be able to finish, and I'll go on to my next appointment and get back with you. Okay? Do they agree with the government statistics on income and spending? Do they fit the profile? If they don't fit the profile, they don't qualify for the package, for the membership. Do you understand that? Why? Why are you wasting your time with somebody that doesn't believe they spend that much money? I said, I'll put you on the Deductr program, and you'll get the test results back and find out that you're worse off than you think. Would you like to do that? Or you don't want to know the truth? They spent $250 BV in dollars on the MA consumable products, and will they try them one time? If they like them, will they put them on auto ship? And if they like other brands, then they can get that as well as SABV products or other brand shop products. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. See, this is what's wrong with you. You said, well, that's not 500. It's 500, JR. It's not 250. You should make it 250. Well, why don't I just make the whole plan 2,500 and 2,500? And you make less, and the company goes out of business. Oh, that's great. You know, here's a great deal for you. Get in, sponsor two, qualify them, and you get 109 grand. You like that deal? Well, let me tell you something. There's founders and officers of companies, thousands of them, that make deals like that, knowing that they'll collect your money and it'll never work because it's financially insolvent. It's not self-reconciling, and then they leave a trail of destruction behind them. I will never do that. That's the bottom line. It's got to work. And okay, it's because it's just like the plan. You don't hit the level the first day in the business or the first month. You get in and you build toward it. You work toward it. You grow toward it. It's the same thing. But you got to get started. And there's some things that are just no-brainers. Right? Okay, I hope that you're absorbing this. You know, Do they want the assessment, to take the assessment after I explain it? Do they understand the savings and credit that they get from their own purchases and that they will earn on their referral footprint? So to do that, we have to take the assessment. Do you feel that's worth doing? They don't want it. I say it takes about an hour, but it could end up earning you a lot of money. Well, yes or no, right? Will they invest an hour to do the assessment with you, and then you set up a time to do the assessment, and then the computer will show them how much they can save and potentially earn on the shopping annuity and how that multiplies with their natural footprint. Because if it's working for them and they're saving money and it really works, and it needs to be easier, and we're doing that, they can't help but tell their family and friends. Now think about it. Everybody's shopping, they're saving money, they're getting money. They can't wait to tell their friends and family. It spreads naturally. And it's not about getting people into something. Holy moly, wait till you experience that. That's why Lynn's so excited up here, because he's doing that and it just spreads naturally. Am I making you mad? Do you like it? Okay, I don't know what you're doing. But at any rate, look, do you agree that you wear and tear your car and spend gas going to the store 3 times a week for an hour each time? And according to the IRS and their way of doing it, and we'll put you on Deductr and you'll see, that's $4,077. Would you like to give me $4,077? Well, no. Why not? Because that's a lot of money. Right, you just answered the question. It's a lot of money. Okay, so a new UFO must be willing to spend the $250. It funds the shopping annuity faster, doesn't it? Causes them to hit checks. They need to retail 150 BV. In other words, we make them do the requirements as an unfranchised owner in order to do the shopping annuity, because I don't want anyone doing it that isn't doing the business. Does everybody get that? That'll be later for the client program. You with me? You sure? Okay. So, the shopping annuity is a process, not an event. It is an identity. It is what you become about. I don't do stupid things. I have a brilliant way of beating the system. I'm addicted to it. It just makes too much sense. That's the mindset. Okay? Okay, so at any rate, simply switch from brick and mortar to click and order. Now, let me tell you a really cool thing that you ought to experience. When you do this and you get to know it, like Sarah Rose or Lauren has all types of cool girlfriends that are celebrities and this and that, you know. And I mean, some of the people, like Eva Longoria and, J-Lo and all that, they don't know how to shop. They waste a lot of money and they are frustrated. But they come to the guru, the shopping guru. Man, Lauren blows their minds. You know what happens when you can show people where to find stuff, better deals, and guide them through it? They fall in love with you. They're amazed. You believe me? Okay, so that's what you do. You just don't send them off on their own, just like you don't send somebody off to do meetings when they never showed the plan. Right? Okay, so do you agree that your time is worth money? If you didn't have to go to the store 3 times a week, you would have more time to build the business. Now, you need to calculate your time, either on your current salary of the time that you're going to the store, or if you're dead set, absolutely positive, totally committed that you are going to be a national or supervising coordinator and you are going to make $109,000 this year, every hour that you don't spend building the business is wasted, and it really is worth whatever it is, what, $100 or, your rate is a lot higher than probably what you're getting paid. But you don't have the guts to do that because you don't really believe you're going to make it. But if you do, put it down. Okay, so save and earn money, it's a better way. And look at that blue star. Double IBV. Will that help? Will that help? Oh, I like the cash back because I don't really build that much and I like that money that I save. And I get customers from it. Great, you can do that too. No problem. But I know a lot of us that are building would like to see that double IBV. Okay, so this is what happens. The natural process starts to take place. Do you see this? Do I have to read it? Can you read faster than I can talk? Okay. And so what happens when you do this, it becomes a natural progression. You understand? What you set in motion carries in motion. And when you're doing it with people, it automatically spreads. And that footprint and the accruing of those dollars into BV and IBV happen. And the bottom line is the reason you do it, it takes 75% less people to hit a check and to max out. Isn't that what you want? Holy moly, you don't get it. The whole thing is about getting enough people succeeding and doing it, okay, and doing what's necessary. Real people doing the real business and real customers in order to hit checks. The faster they hit them, the more they believe. The sooner you make the max, the more you are a beacon light to others. Because you don't have to say when they say, how much money are you making? I'm not making any yet. Oh, I'm making 6 figures, man. Boy, that really puts it back in their face. So in the 2 to 3 year plan, it's the same thing, a choice. 2 to 3 year or 45. Why? Or I don't let them in. It's qualifying. From the very beginning, in talking to somebody, it's qualifying, not recruiting. Okay, so look, you all seen this slide 100 times, right? I hope you have. And I get all types of discussions about it. Look, you may be right, but I'm not wrong. You hear that? Don't get stuck on the dot. I'm going to fix all that because I'm going to win. I mean, just give up. I'm going to win. I'm going to make it right. I mean, if I have to lower the numbers, I'll lower the numbers. It's not what it's about. It's about the concept of converting spending into earning. Do you get that? Okay? You know, Phil gave me a terrible brain spanking. Whew. But I took it. So at any rate, they do agree on these things. If they agree and do these things, then you let them in. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated. It isn't going to work anyway. It's going to demoralize you. They got to qualify. So what this thing is about is very natural, and it spreads very natural. You know, it's about the economy, saving money, being smart, financial independence, beating the system, having fun. Let me show you some things. I'm the shopping guru. And if it works for them, listen. If it works for them and they save money and they start to make money, they can't help to tell their relatives about it and their friends because they're not trying to get them into anything. And it spreads virally. Well, you don't believe me? Well, it's happening for me. It's happening for Lynn. Okay? And the only way you'll ever know if it'll happen for you is to try it. I'm going to do it. You know why will this work? Because it's an idea whose time has come. And it will work because I will make it work with you or without you. It's the bottom line. So I go around town knowing I got the best program ever. I'm on the cutting edge. I'm leading the parade. I have a way to change people's lives. And I'm a little cocky about it, but not arrogant. But that's the attitude, you see? It's the attitude. It's the programming of the brain that makes it easy to recruit, not memorizing lines, not trying to get people. So look at this. Master member is what you're shooting for. When you got into the business, you didn't go executive coordinator the first day or first week. True or false? You didn't go supervising in the first month or two, did you? It's the same thing. You build it, you see? So to become a shopping annuity member or a SAM, you have to complete the shopping annuity assessment. That happens for new people automatically because they can't go any further without doing it. You follow? Oh, but I got to get them signed up. Will you stop signing people up? I mean it. That's your flaw. They will ask to be signed up. They will beg to sign up when you have people under them. Okay. Enrolling in unfranchised auto ship. Boy, will you love that. It's so logical. Why would you want to spend all this time to figure out where you're spending money, then understand the products and why they're a better value, and then go order them and convert and get them on, and you're not in a habit of this, you're really enjoying the product, you love the OPC3, you love the shampoo, and you're just all happy about it. We're making progress. And you forget to reorder. You're busy at the end of the month. Now comes the real guilt trip. Oh my God, I got to go to the store. I don't know about you, but I have extreme anxiety and guilt trips going to the store. So at any rate, if you just put it on auto ship, it'll come automatically. If it's coming too often, you change it. If you don't need it, you stop it. If you don't like it, you stop it. But it's a little insurance program where you don't have to worry about it, and it's coming, but you're in total control. Does that make sense? Now for you guys, the products that will stay in there forever are never going to go away because they're using them up and they love them. You know one thing that the problem with auctions and manipulation proved? There's a positive side to it. Here it is. We have one of the most incredible brands and product lines that are believed worldwide and recognized, and people are beating the door down for them and going after them. Nobody scams something that's a failure. They only try to scam something that is successful and great. And are we great? Okay. At any rate, I'm watching the clock. Last quarter, 2-minute warning. Okay, so the next one is, now listen hard. You'll get this in UFSM, whatever it is, Wire, newsletter. Keep changing the name on me as we evolve. What is it called? The official newsletter that goes out. What? And franchise news. Okay. Do you read that thing? Well, that's good to hear. Okay, so elimination of the 10, 20, 30 IB. Now see, there's something called right thinking and wrong thinking. You can be using wrong thinking to shortcut the system or whatever, but you're always going to end up failing. I don't know why somebody would do something knowing that they're going to end up going off the cliff. Right thinking is I'm doing this because of the shopping annuity. And you don't want to lose your volume, and to make it simple and easy, we put BV products in there. Now, I'm not going to tell you the number of problems that caused. I stepped out of bounds in order to get more participation so people could experience it. It worked, and now it's gotten out of hand. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But the bottom line is, can you at least believe me enough after 25 years that it's oil and water? It doesn't work mathematically. It doesn't work for you. It displaces volume, and there's a whole lot of other reasons. So it's over. BV's BV, IBV is IBV. And you will be happy about it, just like the accrual option and transfer buying and requirements. Believe me. If you want to have a discussion about it, I'll do it. But, half of the people in here wouldn't understand it. I have to explain all the internal workings. Just believe me. But you don't have to worry about it because you don't have to do the 10, 20, or 30. Do you get that? Okay. Provide the UFO the option who's building to get double IBV rather than cash back. They much rather the accumulation of double IBV to hit levels. And the cash back is for getting customers. You can use that, but you only get half of the IBV then. Do you like that? Double IBV, come on! Whoa! Okay, no Market America products with IBV. Market America products are our brands for retail and BV. The SIBV products are not for retail. They're for consumption, so that you can get higher numbers when you consume in order to hit the numbers. A brilliant idea, and it's all your fault. It's your fault for complaining. It's your fault for me realizing that I don't want you to have that complaint. And it's your fault because if you don't vote and you don't participate, you don't get the products that you want. So ha ha ha. I mean it. I gave you control. You get this? Are you having fun? Do you hate me yet? Huh? No, not yet. Listen, people say, JR, you like to motivate people. I do not like to motivate people. Motivation doesn't get somebody to do anything. Oh, I'm excited. Isn't it great? Ain't it great? And they do nothing. I like to irritate you. Because not until a driven individual or somebody with vision gets irritated and pissed off do they ever become great or succeed. So I'm here to irritate you. Don't be mad at me for it. Okay, is that okay? Okay. Look, I am what I am. And I'm real. And I love you so much. Please understand that. But at any rate, a BV commission must be earned as a prerequisite to get an IBV commission. It just makes sense. An IBV accumulates faster. That's coming along behind it. We don't want people forgetting the retail and building a solid foundation of business and not have that going in order to get the other. Okay? Well, JR, I don't like that because I had a way of beating the system. Huh, too bad, that's the way it is. Okay? That's the answer. You have anything else to ask? Okay, so down, and there's good reason for it. I'm not arrogant. When I'm wrong, I change. When I'm right, I stand up for what's right. And this is right. So, downline placement, I'm going to get you off of this weakness. I'm going to get you off of it because it's not going to give you residual income for the rest of your life like these guys have. I'm not going to weaken people. There's a place to use it in personally sponsored centers down underneath the bottom of a leg or under a reentry where you're working with them on a daily basis and they're almost there and you just get them over because you already sold the product and you don't need it. But you don't base building the business on giving. I mean, I ask people, how much is a good thing to give away? You got some volume. What is it to the person that way down there? Is 25% a good number? 50%? Wow, you're giving them $2,500 a week or a month? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I have never done that. How much volume did I give you, Frank? Elizabeth is in the bathroom. But, how many people here, Dennis, I ever give you any volume? Never. Yeah. Well, that was a mistake. I'll give you some now, okay? All right, see, downline placement is about sponsoring people under people. You understand that? And re-entries under. That helps them more than anything. So what's the number? 25%? You as a downline, how much do you expect to get from the upline? I would rather them sponsor people under me and re-enter under me. What do you expect, 25%? You got to be nuts. I'm going to give you 2,500 volume per week. Well, right away, that raises a red flag. You went through a speed trap. We're going to now look at you because that volume is not coming from retail sales. You're getting unencumbered volume and selling it on auctions and putting it down there, or stealing other people's customers and putting it down there. And that is the cannibalism and the selfishness and the greed that'll destroy the most perfect and beautiful business in the world, and I'm not going to let that happen, and I hope that you won't either. Okay. So when you are a SAM member and you duplicate and have SAM members and the volume is rolling in, same way as the BV plan works, when you do 5, when you hit a check or cycle and a person on the left and right cycles and they're a SAM, you get a $600 leadership bonus. And don't laugh at it. There's a lot of people that have been in for a long time that get leadership bonuses every week. Okay, now I got to move on. Learn how to dance. Guys, it's a conversation. People love to talk to knowledgeable, intelligent, enlightened people. Now, you don't know what to say, and you trip, and you fumble. Look, why don't you do yourself a favor and learn how to dance? Yardley's really good at it, even in the business, not only on the floor. But what I mean by dancing, it's just a conversation. It's, shopping annuity conversation, online shopping, social shopping, the economy. These are all topics that you need to know enough about to sound cool, to sound intelligent. And it's an interesting conversation. Product brokerage, mall without walls, internet marketing, baby boomers and anti-aging and wellness, 2 to 3 year plan versus 45-year plan, residual income, and time leveraging. Great topics. And one leads to another. So when they ask a question, you just follow along, or you lead. You follow? Economic alchemy. I love buzzwords that stimulate or call out a question. And if they don't ask, they're obviously mentally shut down. Tracking system. I love the tracking system. Ability to track, just like in the movie example, person to person, and what they spend and what they buy, and give everybody 100% credit without dilution to infinity in order to earn. So, tell the story of how it got created. Collective buying power forces prices down and gets a piece of the margin that we put into a financial instrument that accrues and pays you. The establishment wants to keep us apart. There's going to be a revolution. Unfranchised versus franchise, Plan B, OPC3, and this incredible product that I cannot say what it does because they become medical claims. But everybody else talks about the things that it did for them. And it's just amazing. All you got to do is try it, and you try it for a month. If you stop taking it, you will see the difference and get right back on it. Young entrepreneurs, one-to-one marketing, the university majors, they're all great topics, right? So you know these. You need to know them well enough that you're not gagging, or being mentally constipated. No, you're cool, man. You get this? And it's all about priming the pump. So you see, the concept of the pitcher pump is that there is unlimited water down there. Here, unlimited residual income. But you got to put something in before you can get anything out, right? But once it primes, it takes very little. And the money just keeps coming in and in and in. Well, on recruiting, if you want to call it that, qualifying, you have to prime the pump. You got to get the bean jar filled. You got to start talking, having conversations. And if you are really unconfident, do what Elizabeth did. I don't know how Frank did it because he, so powerful with people. He got really, really strong people right out of the bat. See, I acknowledged it, Frank. But Elizabeth, she would do three-way calls. And the reason was she knew when they went to call people, there was a high likelihood that the person they were talking to would talk them out of it or bash them. So she got a little profile about them and always made three-way calls, and man, it worked. You can do a call workshop. Jim Winkler is a master at this. And you know what it shows when you do it? When you get 20 people in a room or 10 people in a room and you work together and you all call people, they're overcoming maybe a fear, but they have a lot of support there. But what it shows is that number one, you can do it. You can do it. And the only learning in the world is experiential learning. You hear all this stuff at the seminar, I'm giving you my heart, soul, and sweat all over the place. And you will do very little of it. But when I do it with you, actually with you, you get it. And you do it. And you experience. So the other thing is, it proves that you were not doing it. You understand the call workshop? They make a list, they all get together, and they start calling people, and asking them to get together to see a concept in all different ways. And look at the results, 646 appointments out of a moving up seminar. I mean, why didn't they do that before? It proves that you can do it and you weren't doing it. So don't tell me you're sponsoring 2 people a month. I do. Where's Nicole at? She leaves? So we sponsor people all the time. People come to us. Nicole has been a stable or waiting UFO for many years. And, her life has changed. She, with a great guy, and she now wants to do the business again. And it just so happens that, make sure Andrew turns them over and works with you. But at any rate, we have people trying to get in. I don't have time right now. Look, sponsoring somebody is like having a baby. I won't show the plan if I can't follow up. You can't have a baby and not change its diapers and not nurse it and not care for it. You can't set it out on the step and come back 6 months later and expect it to be there and okay. I'm serious. And when they grow and they're 4 and they're 5, it's even more dangerous because they're into everything. You got to be there for them. And when they're adolescents, that's the most dangerous time of all. You better be there for them. So when I sponsor somebody, I'm not going to let them fail. I'm not going to let them get wrongly influenced. What do you expect? They don't know what to do. You expect them to ask you to buy tickets? You expect them to ask you to do the ABC pattern? No, they don't know what to do. You got to bring them up, and it's a big responsibility, and it takes 6 months of nurturing, living with them, in order to have an income like Frank has for the rest of your life. That's the bottom line. So at any rate, you know about this. Shake the bean jar. I shake the bean jar, I get a nut. With the nut, I have a trial run at their house. Not my house, their house. Okay, look, I'm not going to explain why. Just do it and you'll learn. There's a big difference when they take it into their own home and invite people over. And it kind of puts them in a position of empowerment and leadership. And they're making a statement. I'm doing this to their friends. And I'm there. It's easier to get the people over to their house, too. And then I do it again under them, and under them, and under them. I did not know Dennis Franks. He was 8 removed. I did not know Elizabeth Weber. Her upline quit. Bobby was half nuts. I mean, he turned into be a great partner, incredible partner. And it all went well. But the point is, that has led to an organization where she's making millions and there's hundreds of people making 6 figures. Unbelievable. But I would never have met her if I didn't go down the pattern. The same thing with Frank. And I used to go to York with Manfredi and Gender. And look what happened. Oh, but you know how to beat the system. Or I'm not going to do that. They get in, they can do it on their own. Okay, fine. You won't be here in 3 years. But other people will be 6-figure residual income. And when I say 6-figure residual income, that's not a 6-figure income. That's a 6-figure residual income. Because with that 6-figure income, all you're doing is exchanging time for money. And you're broke at a higher level. And when the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, it's a longer fall. So, Phil Guido, a great example. There he is, calling, following up, helping people make the call, and doing one-on-ones. That's why he's successful. You see? I have 6 people at this convention. Okay? I don't have time to show it to them and prove it to them, but I'm going to believe it to them. And after you see this, if you don't get it, a good thing we didn't waste our time. I don't mind wasting a little money, but I don't want to waste time. But I'll tell you something, you get them here, if they're right for the business, it's over. If they're wrong, nothing gained, nothing lost. It's the best spent money in the world. It accomplishes 6 months' work in 1 weekend. So, I mean, that's how I do it. I use all of you to grow my own business. Thank you. You know. So, this is like a university. 2-sided coin. Shopping annuity and major businesses within a business, majors. Look for people that are not like you, that love to do other things that are great. Because that is their button. They'll figure out the rest later. But say, hey, you're in cosmetics. We have an incredible line. I know that you're doing Chanel or whatever, but I would like you to look at this line and evaluate it and tell me what you think. See, it's all about the product to them. And when they find out that our product is better and fall in love with it and fall in love with the people, it's over. But each one of you in 11 different majors could find, that doesn't mean you do it. It don't mean you go and get trained. They're going to do it. So what would happen if every one of you found 5 to 10 people in different majors? Put that person that wants to lose weight and help other ones that's a fanatic with Dennis. You know, he'll give them a new brain. So you're looking and you find it. That's a different approach, isn't it? You know? Look for talent, experience. This is another way of filling that bean jar. Okay, I got to come in for a landing. It's all about time. In this business, time is spent. It either produces results or it doesn't. So you must make it quality time. The greatest thing in quality time is qualifying people, not trying to recruit them. The growth then exponentially duplicates to the level of the quality of time. And that produces volume. When you're doing quality time and you have growth that duplicates, it automatically creates volume, more volume. Add a shopping annuity, more volume. And that's what turns into residual income. That's the formula. There's no way around it. I've been doing this my whole life. I was born this way. No, I wasn't. You believe anything I say, except what I don't want you to believe. Okay, I'm having fun with you. So the product approach happens all the time because you are a product of the product. You're wearing motives. You're in the girl's bathroom. And I know they ask you, that's beautiful. What the lipstick is that? Right? You have a friend over and you're going to go work out. And you're pouring this cap full of purple stuff in this little shot glass and you slam it down like a shot of Red Eye. What do they say? What's that? Oh, you won't believe this. And you tell them the story about what happened to you, and then they want some, and then they realize that their friends want some, and that you're making money, and they want to become a UFO. I mean, you can't help it. I never said to sponsor two. I don't know where you got that. The plan was based on the lowest number of legs to earn the maximum amount of income. The lowest denominator, because I got through the 4th grade, is 2. Multiplier is 2. The average person on 50 years of statistics in the direct selling industry was able to sponsor 2.84 and maintain them for a year. Right? That's why 2. It just happens to match the math and the logic. So, but that's so that you don't have everybody in competition with you and have to spread you thin and build 10 to 20 legs and make the same amount of money that you do with 2 legs with greater security and stability from income and depth. So I never said you just sponsor 2. You said that. I said you build 2 legs. I sponsor 4 per leg per year. And that accelerates it, creates teamwork. And that's why I have legs like Tony and Pam Bowling and Frank Keeper and Elizabeth Weber and Dennis Franks and Rick Hannon. That's why. So I told you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And the fact that we have a program that's based on vertical marketing rather than horizontal. You don't need to worry about filling stuff out. You don't need to worry about symmetry or balancing. Balancing is a concept that's very logical, and we address it. But the bottom line is, if you're sponsoring and doing the ABC pattern, it doesn't matter where it is or what legs balance or what legs not. Somewhere down there, somebody is going to do it, and you're going to go down and work with them, and it's not off your pay line, and you're going to get paid anyway. That's the magic. That's the magic. So, I know you're smarter than me, and you can figure out a shortcut, but that shortcut is going to be a short circuit. So, I can't go through this slide. I got to get to the end. I don't even know what I got still in here, but, I'm never done. But we have some great people to come up that have done it. And I'm at the 2-minute warning, actually. But look at this. If I'm sponsoring 2 per month, when you're really hot and doing this, it's almost impossible not to. You see? And 2 a month, okay, 8 a year, and I put them down underneath. Now, if everybody duplicates that, see, when you don't sponsor, guess what happens? Your people duplicate you. They only do 2. Okay? And the whole thing kind of comes to a slow standstill. But when everybody's doing 2, exponentially it starts to explode, and you can't help by the end of a year hitting an incredible level. So that's what I do. Okay, I got to get out of this. What I got? Okay, so the formula is prospecting, recruiting, sponsoring, the 4 C's, combination, cross-pollination, corings, okay, the ABC pattern. You do all that, it exponentially increases the value of your time, and you are going to make a lot of money. So I'm going to be, I don't even know what's on here, so, okay. I already said it. I send people great material about what we're doing that doesn't sell the plan or try to get them in. Good times, success, people making money, and they get an impression. Lauren tells them, Google me. I mean, look, she had colonoscopy, an incredible surgeon. Incredible, I mean, this is one of a million. Jenny Kai, Chinese, very good doctor, fell in love with us. We fell in love with her, just like Dr. Patel, okay? She wants her daughter. I didn't even talk to her about the business one time. She looked this up. She wants to do it. She wants her daughter to do it in motives. Dr. Patel, the #1 endoscopic surgeon that removes aneurysms in the world, ahead of Boston, Mass. Medical Neurology and Harvard Medical School Neurology. He loves the business, been begging us for months to get started. I can't get to him because I don't have babies that I can't take care of. I don't have illegitimate children. Right? So we're going to get to him. He's going to be a wizard. So anyway, if you're watching, Doc, thank you, you know. So I use this stuff to influence them, and they qualify themselves because they say, man, it's amazing what you guys have done. I didn't even tell him anything. He's telling me it's amazing what we've done. Are you getting this? Use that power at this convention. Okay, I'm done. The question is, do you qualify? Do you qualify? Now, the real proof is always in the pudding. The real proof is when someone has that billionth of a volt sparking across their cerebral cortex and makes a decision to make it happen. It's an amazing thing when it happens. And when those people emerge and succeed, they are the best antidote against brain constipation, against a bad programmed brain with wrong thinking, because they're just like you. And they speak from their heart and from what they've done. And if you can absorb that and feel that, maybe that billionth of volt will go off for you. So I'm going to step off the stage. The class bell rang. Unfortunately, you got a double header. You ever have a double header? One class after another, back to back in the same room? At least you don't have to walk across campus. Okay. We ready?
I guess I'll get started.
Ready.
How's everybody doing? We're talking about recruiting with the shopping annuity, and I got to tell you, I look for people who are looking for something. And the shopping annuity just makes sense, financial and common sense. So I assume everyone's going to want to do it. Why? Because everybody spends money, right? So I use two techniques. I either get people to recruit me, right? I get people to recruit me, and I'll tell you how I do it, or I pop the question. Remember those 3 words, pop the question. Because if all else fails, you gotta pop the question. Because think about it, everything good in life happened when we pop the question. Like you wouldn't be here today if somebody didn't. I wouldn't be married if Rick didn't. Okay, you get it. Okay, good. So, the one thing I can tell you right now is you gotta have fun. People don't wanna be around boring people. Fun-loving people. People wanna have fun. They have a job already. So make it fun. Talk to everybody. You can't be selective if you don't talk to everybody. Because then your funnel's not full. You got a few beans that you're trying to shake up and they're not going anywhere. So you've got to keep the funnel full of people. So I always ask questions, and that's the reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You got to listen, listen, listen. Ask a lot of questions. The more questions you ask, man, the more they bring up the business. You can't help it if they brought up the business. Ask them about their job. How's your job going? How's life treating you? I'm telling you, you talk to people more than a couple of minutes, they're telling you how things are, how they wish things were, and how rotten things are, right? How they wish things were. You can't help it if they brought up the business. So ask a lot of questions. Use form, family, occupation, recreation, money. Form a conversation. I had to get really good at the 3-foot rule because nobody I knew would listen to me because they knew me. And I had tried all these different things. I was that MLM floozy, you know? And so I would ask 3 things. The 3-foot rule I got really good at. And let me tell you, I had to get out of my comfort zone to get good at it. First thing you got to do is smile. If they don't smile back, next. Right? Next thing you got to do is say hi. That 2-letter word has made me more money than any other word in the dictionary. Then you use the immediate environment around you to start a conversation. You either compliment them, right? You do something to start the conversation, all right? Then my 3 W's. I use these all the time. Who do you know? Where are you from? And what do you do? Who do you know? Who do you know who's a great salesperson? Who do you know who's looking for something? Who do you know that wants more out of life? Where are you from? It doesn't matter where they're from. You're building your business there. Who do you know? What do you do? You guys ask people, what do you do? When they tell you what they do, say, I bet you love it. 9 times out of 10, they don't. Ask them more questions. How many hours you have to work a week? Do you get a bonus? Whatever the questions are, ask a lot of questions. Okay, so what do you do? When you ask people what they do, they're going to ask you what you do. You've got to be ready with your answer. Mine is I teach people how to make a lot of money online. That's all I say, and then shut up. Next person that speaks loses. I be quiet. If they don't ask me anymore, next, I don't want them. I teach people how to make a lot of money online. You could say, I show people how to make a lot of money online. How difficult is that? You can't help it if they brought up the business. They're going to say to you, can you show me? Can you teach me? I swear to you, this will happen. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, can you show me? I can't show you right now, but give me your information. I'll get in touch with you. You don't want to show them the plan there. You want to build that relationship. So where are you from? Who do you know? What do you do? If all else fails, you pop the question. You guys make it so difficult and it's so easy. If I could show you a way that you could get paid on everything you buy, would you be interested? How difficult is that? Pop the question. Have you heard about the shopping annuity? If I could show you a way you can convert all your spending into earning a 6-figure residual income, would you be interested? How difficult is that to pop the question? Nothing's going to happen if you don't do it. So I talk to everybody. I'm a friend-making machine. I love this business. When I want to go have fun, I talk to people. Just become a friend-making machine. If you don't say anything, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose in this business. You're making it so difficult and it's retarded. Like, just do it. Have fun with it and make friends and find their pain and give them the best opportunity of a lifetime. You can change people's lives. That's why you're in this business, is to change other people's lives. So go out and make it happen.
Woo, powerful. Alice Jones, Northern California District. You know, JR came out with this shopping annuity concept. When he said he is pregnant again every time, that means more money coming in. And, so shopping annuity, actually, some of us, when we heard that in year 2014, when he come up with this shopping annuity concept, we thought it was new. But actually, 21 years ago, Victor and I came to this business. We understand this business can change our life. So we got to force ourselves to know what this business is about. So what we do is very simple. We just convert our spending. So start from ourselves. So for example, we change whatever the personal consumption, whatever we use at home. For example, how many ladies have more than 5 lipsticks, have 10 lipsticks, have 5 eyeshadows? From the head above, I counted, I have 30, 40 items, and then how about the home uses? How about the dog and cat? How about the garden? How about, your green plants? So there's so many things you can use and convert, to market products. Now, in year 2010, here comes shop.com. So whatever you see I have actually is from our affiliate stores that created what? Savings. For example, international travel. I travel a lot because we have 10 countries right now. So how about the airline tickets? We save so much, and we can buy when we want to travel. And the hotels, car rentals, everything. This is what we do. We convert the spending into earnings. We love to shop, but I hate to buy. We love to buy, hate to be sold, right? Is that correct? So this is something we start from ourselves. Now, how about our customers? We talk. When we love our product, we share, right? So you have maybe one-on-one, maybe home event. I learned from our general, Kevin Bachman, the home shopping list. So that's a powerful tool. 671, code 671. So we pile up whatever. When we ever see any customers, we give to them. So they would mark whatever they want. They possibly mark whole pages, maybe 20, 30 items. So what we do is ask them which item they cannot go without. And then maybe 10, 15 items, then we plug in the home shopping assessment or home advisor to calculate the savings, to calculate the BV. You know what? Just like JR said, oh gosh, they not only want the savings, but they want the business, because when they see the BV calculation, they say, oh my goodness, I could generate the residual income from here. So that's how we do. Okay, so we leverage tools. How about customers come in from online, come in, maybe easy customers. Hey, we have so many tools. It doesn't matter where they come in. From isotonist, hey, how about the neutral physical? How about TLS profile? How about the motives? So we use those, those tools, to share with our customers and let them know what this powerful business is. This is a system. Shopping annuity, I really totally agree with, is a system. Now, how to build this residual? Duplication. Duplication is the key. You got to know, you got to teach your customers how to use these tools, how to duplicate, how to convert, and then talk to their friends. That's the retail, right? How about the people who want the business? Duplication again. That's why you are here to learn what's the most important. That is a basified technology, basified skills. So in order to generate your residual, generate your ongoing income, you got to duplicate. That's, again, basic 5. So basic 5 combined with a shopping annuity become your residual, become ongoing income. That's why you need the tickets. So if you don't have a ticket, go and get tickets. Thank you very much.
So when I think about how I use the shopping annuity to build my business, I mean, our business is the shopping annuity, right? And so how in the world can you ever talk to somebody about the shopping annuity if you aren't doing it first yourself, right? That's why we struggle with what do we say. It's because if you're not doing it first, then you can't share what, all the benefits you're seeing in this business. We talk about that there's 3 ways to make money in this business. I actually argue that there's 4. Because in the beginning, even before you've earned your first check, you're saving a ton of money, right? So when you say to the average family, by putting this business in place, you're gonna save about $1,500 a year, I heard that loud and clear, and for me, that was a significant amount of money. I can show people through just 2 partner stores that I shop at regularly how I've saved over $1,700 since I've been in this business for less than 2 years. That's just 2 partner stores. We have almost 4,000, right? These are examples that I can then share with other people. And I talk about them as if it's the most recent movie that I've seen, right? I'm not sitting there saying, hey, I've got a business plan, I want you to see, I want to recruit you, I think you'd be really great, you know. No, I say, oh my gosh, guess what? When I had to buy my kids Chromebooks for Christmas, I got them for $128 a piece. And I copy and pasted the exact model and everything, put it into the Amazon search browser, and guess what? $60 more. And it's on my YouTube video. I shared it with everybody. You can't argue with that. That's showing the shopping annuity at work, right? Because I'm not gonna own a shopping annuity and not live my life through the business. And when, as a leader in this business, I really believe that you create the expectations for your team, right? So I can never ask anybody on my team to do something that I'm not first doing. In fact, I will be their guinea pig, and I will sit there and say, I'm gonna do this on my own because I believe in it, and I know it's going to work, and then I come back to them with the numbers. I did 4 straight months of accountabilities, and then I came back and showed them the data, because numbers speak to people. It's not just my perception, it's not just my experience. We had 488% growth from year 1 to year 2. And so when I'm talking to other business owners and I'm sharing those numbers, how many businesses make money in their first 3 years in business? Right. Very few. So when I show them that in my first year, these were my numbers, and then year 2, 488% growth, and I've just started getting going, right? I've got a long way to go. You've got an opportunity to come be a part of my team, and this is what we're projecting for the next year. When I ask other business owners what their projections are for the next year, they don't even know how to answer that question. What's a projection? Right? But when you share this information, and it's very easy to do because we have an ABC pattern, right? So we don't have to make up numbers. We look at how many people we have in our organization, how many are committed to the duplicating activities, and that's where we're gonna be by the end of 2018, right? And the last thing I wanna say is it's all about your mindset. And that's why learning from the best of the best in this room is so important, and I've had all of you in every room of my house training me in the 2 years that I've been in this business. I've learned from the Whiteds, I've learned from Jim Winkler, from Ryan Stack, from Gary Rogers, right? Because I'm listening to all of these audios, and that's how I'm able to talk about this business. I'm still learning. I went through the trial size marketing with Phil Guido, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I had been in this business for 1.5 years, and I'm like, oh my God, trial size marketing. So now part of our getting started with our new members, when they come in with that Fast Start entry kit, we take that first box of the daily essential packets, and we're building their base 10. Right then and there, right? Let's get going, because once they've got that customer base, again, they're starting to earn their retail commissions, another way of earning money in this business. We're setting them up to then be able to better share the business plan. All right, I feel like I've rambled a ton, but that's how we've done so much in a short period of time, so I appreciate the opportunity of being able to share.
So first of all, I agree with everything that Elizabeth and Alice and Heidi have already shared. They've shared a lot of great tips, and I just want to share with you guys that for me and for Ryan and a lot of people in our organization, recruiting used to be really difficult. It used to be really challenging for us. It was our weakest part of the Basic 5 by far, because really psychology. We would sit down with people and talk to them, and it felt like we were asking them to do something uncomfortable or asking them to do something that was new to them. Most people have a job or they have a career, and sitting down and showing a business opportunity is different. It can feel weird, right? So what we realized when the shopping annuity came around is, yeah, it's all about the multiplier, but for us, it changed our recruiting skills, because we start with the shopping annuity first. So what I realized very quickly is that there is a psychology of making a decision for people. Like when you go and try on a new pair of jeans, right? You don't really care about the jeans, you care about how you look in the jeans. Isn't that true? And when we were shopping for our first house, I was walking through the house and I was trying to visualize myself in that house having coffee every morning. I cared about myself in that process. So I thought about that and I said, geez, if we start with the shopping annuity first, isn't it easier for a prospect to visualize themselves as part of this process? Isn't it easier for them to say, yeah, I am spending that money. I could make that switch. I do shop at those stores. I can do this. And so right from the beginning, before we even show the plan, we're just talking in themes, conceptually, about the shopping annuity, because what we're actually doing is psychologically breaking down a barrier that's in their head that they don't even know they have. Because we want them to be able to visualize themselves as part of the process. And as soon as they can do that, they're more open. And then we show the plan. And it used to be, you get to the MPCP and you start talking about, hey, you get to $1,200 and $1,200, you get a $300 check. And that used to be actually kind of stressful for a prospect. Because they'd look at that and go, how am I going to get there? Right? And so that's, again, it's another subconscious thing going in somebody's brain when you're trying to prospect and you're trying to recruit, and they're worried about how could I possibly create that much volume? Well, if you start with the shopping annuity first of all, again, you help them visualize themselves as part of the process because they're spending it anyway. But then by the time you get to the MPCP and you're actually showing them the plan, they're going, God, that's easy to do. I could probably do that myself. So it's all about mentality. So if you break down barriers that you know that you had when you were evaluating the business, and you start with the shopping annuity first, by the time they see the plan, there's really no convincing. Because at the end of the plan, they visualize themselves as part of the process. It isn't hard. They look at the numbers and they're excited by them. And then here's the third thing that happens. They don't get intimidated by the process of recruiting themselves. They don't go, well, I really like this, but I don't know if I could show this to my friends and family. They go, this looks really easy to do. It's about money you're spending anyway, redirecting it through your own business, and I can't wait to tell everybody about it. So for us, our recruiting used to be terrible, and now it's awesome. Like, we recruited over 20 people last year. In January, we recruited 4. Typically, January is our slowest month, but you start with the shopping annuity first, because the shopping annuity is the business. And if you start with that, you have a better mindset and a better conversation. And by the way, it's just more fun. Like, it's more fun to recruit and prospect and do it together with people when everybody's comfortable, right? The other thing that Heidi said that I really loved was you have to do it first. You have to do it yourself, because that's when you get the stories to share and people can tell if you're being organic. Isn't it true that you would not recommend a restaurant that you haven't eaten at? Would you? I mean, it's an integrity thing, right? You wouldn't do that, or you wouldn't recommend a book you haven't read. And so what happens with the shopping annuity is when you actually start using all of your own products, you become an incredible retailer by default, because you become an organic retailer, because you have real stories to share about your BV products, about your partner stores, about all of the stuff that you've been doing as you convert spending into earning. So for me, the shopping annuity is literally the foundation of the business, which is great because it makes the business easier. And it makes prospecting easier, and it makes retailing easier, and it makes all of those things that people might be second guessing in their head about whether or not they could do, it makes it go away. And it's a fun process, and it's easier to duplicate, and it's easier to do it faster.
All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with everyone today, to wrap up the day, what I find to be one of the biggest understanding gaps in the business in reference to the shopping annuity. And In 2017, I was blessed to personally sponsor 18 people in the business. This year, I plan on more than doubling that, and there's a reason for it. The shopping annuity is just like almost any other financial vehicle out there. If it's just you funding it, it'll give you very small return. Think about this. If you put a bunch of money in a savings account, what's your return on investment going to be? Charlie, what, 0.25% if you're lucky? How much would you have to invest to get any type of substantial return, right? See, what makes investment vehicles work, what makes big money come in through investment vehicles, and don't get it mixed up, the shopping annuity is the most powerful investment vehicle in the world. It's when you involve other people. Other people's collective buying power is the key. That's the reason why annuities pay high returns, why mutual funds pay high returns, and anything else is because it's more than one person's money being contributed. That's why you need to learn how to recruit and recruit in a big way. How many people in here are going to make 2018 the biggest recruiting year you've ever had? How many people are doing it? That's what it takes. So it really comes down to knowing what you're in and then talking about that in themes. You know, there's no magic bullet to recruiting in the business besides just bringing it up and then knowing how to talk about it in themes. But in order to do so, you have to know what you have in your hand. You have to know the crusade that you are actually a part of. And this is a crusade. You have to realize we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that are going to be taken out of one market segment and put into another market segment. You guys get that? Hundreds of billions of marketing dollars that usually are just sucked out of your pockets from a consumer standpoint make you less wealthy while making huge companies mega rich. We want to change that, so you have to be a part of something bigger. You have to be a crusader, and that's really what this is all about. So learning how to talk in themes. What are the themes? What are they? Well, when you buy, every single time you bought to this point in your life, and this is just comes up in conversation. Everyone talked about how to ways to bring the conversation up, but when you buy, think about this. Every time you spend money, you are less wealthy than before you spent that money every single time. Isn't that true? You're parting with money, but that same exact transaction that took money out of your pocket made someone else wealthy or more wealthy while you became less wealthy. Do you get that? Every single time. So when you have conversations with people, simply share with them that income, and you can show it to them in the amount of money that these marketing conglomerates make and these big companies make. For the first time in history, we found a way to beat that system. JR talked about it earlier. That is capturing the margins that have been sucked out of your life for years, keeping you broke, keeping you separate from other people, and then creating a buying power, a collective buying power that now the funds that normally would be taken from you are now redirected back. They're swung back into an investment financial vehicle to create a residual lifelong income. So when you leave, it all starts with you, Kevin. Are you going to buy from yourself every time? Or are you going to go to somebody else? See, I know you do it when people are watching. But when you do it when it's just you. Because that's a big difference. You have to do it when it's just you. Because every time you spend your money, it's a vote. If you buy it through yourself and you fund your shopping annuity with it, you're voting for the shopping annuity. But it's not about price. Price is irrelevant because the more we do it, the more the margins change and the more revenue. In fact, if you do it right over time, your residual income will be greater than any money you spend to shop in the first place. How many people in here love that idea, right? So, to bring it all together, the most important thing is just go talk. Create the conversations. Understand the theme, but realize you're going to run into resistance. People, the big corporations don't want you to realize this. They don't want you to realize your availability here, but go out and share the vision with everybody and learn that theme and know the crusade that you're a part of. Lastly, I want to congratulate every single one of you in here because you're here and it's almost 7 o'clock. You're the reason why we're all here, and I couldn't be more proud to be a company full of crazy people like me. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.